Hello, welcome back to the channel. So this week you join us on my 2-week summer holiday and we're kicking it off in the Isle of Skye. We're in Old Kyle Farm in Kyle Leakin, I think that's how you pronounce it, just as you come over the Skye Bridge, and we're in the barn. It's the same people I stayed with a couple of years ago. If you follow me over on Instagram, you would have seen Broadford Lodges. Places were absolutely stunning. It's the same people that own these and they've kindly invited us to stay here for a couple of days and it looks amazing, absolutely brilliant. So I've got here, as you walk in, got the living room area, log fire. You all know I love a log fire, so that'll be going on. In the meantime, I've got the temporary log fire on YouTube, just to make it a wee bit cosy. So a big seating area, you've got a downstairs toilet, and everything's open plan. You've got a wee sort of dining table here. You've got a big kitchen, which hopefully I'll be doing a bit of cooking. I'm hoping to go free diving. I've not done it in over a year, so I'm a wee bit nervous, but I'm hoping to go and do that. And hopefully the target is to get some scallops, so if I get them I'll be cooking them up in here for these as well. And what a view it's got, if you look out there, apart from my big van always been in the way, but you can look all over to the Kyle Couch, the Skye Bridge is sort of just to the left, so an amazing view to be cooking up some dinner. But it's got everything that you need, a fully working kitchen. It's also got a washing machine, which is fantastic because we have been staying in the van for the last couple of days, so we do have some stuff that we could use. Big fridge freezer as well. And then you go up these stairs and it's got the upstairs bedroom, the only bedroom I should say. So come in here, nice and big, lovely big bed, and again you've got those views. I don't really know how well the views will translate on here because I don't have zoom with my GoPro, but again, lovely sea views looking over at the Kyle Couch over there. And then in here you've got quite a quirky bathroom. I don't think it's going to be to everybody's taste. I don't quite think it's to my taste, to be honest, but it's certainly different. So exposed plyboard. You've got all your copper piping, which I think is actually really nice, and a big open bath here. And then just further down here you've got a toilet, so you don't know what a toilet looks like, but aye, wee bit different. Not seen one like this before, and I say maybe not everybody's taste, but I love the big bath nonetheless, which will be very welcome. So aye, this is us here. As usual, I leave the family in the van while I run around and get some photos and some video. And with a 9-month-old toddler, that can be pretty difficult. So I'm going to go and get the family in. I'm going to go and get our cases and stuff. We'll get settled in and I'll catch up with you with whatever we do next. So I was hoping to take you out diving with me. I'm going to go and dive and hopefully get some scallops, some free diving, but I've just realised the underwater housing I've bought for this camera is far too wee. I should have checked it before I came, so it's my own fault, but what I'll do is I'll talk you through some of the gear. I think I've got some footage of me diving for scallops at this location from my old GoPro on my phone, and I'll see if I can splice it in, but if not I'll catch up with you after the dive. But here's my gear. Got a weight belt. You need this because when you've got your suit on, you're too buoyant to go down, so you'd expend too much energy diving down. Here's my bag to put my catch in, and then here I've got a hook. This hook is if I come across any crabs or lobsters in any wee holes, I can help pull them out. I have got a mask and snorkel. I've got my fins, they're really cheap fins, you get really expensive carbon things. I've got some 5mm gloves. I actually prefer 2.5mm, but I've lost them. These aren't very good for dexterity with your hands in the water. Some socks. I've got my bottoms from my suit, my top for my suit. My suit is a 7mm open cell suit, which basically means that you need to lube it up in order for you to get into it. So that's my gear. If I'm going actual spearfishing, I've got a spear gun and I've got a big float and stuff, but this place I'm going, it's a very quick dive. I know there's scallops there usually, so I'm catch up with you basically after, and I'll hopefully be able to splice in some footage from before. So that's me just back the dive, absolutely knackered. My first dive in over a year, maybe even close to 2. Absolute nightmare, but it went really well. Loads of scallops. I actually put much more than that back as well. Very weirdly in Scotland, it's a wee bit sort of murky, the rules, but I think you're allowed 6 while diving, which is an absolute shambles because commercial divers with scuba tanks will go out and take hundreds in a day, and dredgers will take hundreds as well, but I'm only allowed 6 and I'm free diving, so a bit of a joke. So I'll count the biggest 6 and I'll put the rest back, but great success. So looks like we're going to be eating some fresh scallops. So, got myself cleaned up for my dive, and we've drove along to Plockton. Plockton's known as the Jewel of the Highlands. Tiny wee place, but it's absolutely beautiful. It's also where they filmed Hamish Macbeth years ago, if any of you remember that. And here it's here. You can also go out in Callum's boat tours. Goes and shows you some seals. Sort of famous character for about here. But it's stunning. One of the places I want to go is just along here. I was here just after COVID restrictions lifted, and I got myself a pint of beer. It was my first real pint in a pub since COVID restrictions lifted. It was incredible. It was really cold. We were sat outside, I think because again the restrictions meant that was the only place it could be served or something weird like that. Freezing cold, but the pint tasted amazing. And inside I got myself a pint of prawns as well. So just like langoustine tails basically. So that's my plan, is I'm going to go in here and hopefully get the same again. So I'll show you them when I'm in there. This is the outdoor bit at the Plockton Inn. Which obviously it's a wee bit rainy and overcast today, but the summer's days are unbelievable. After Plockton, we decided to head back to the cottage, and we were going to go back and cook up the scallops. That's the beauty of these cottages. As much as they are on Skye, they're in a perfect position for you to explore the Kyle of Calsh, Plockton, the mainland, as well as the Isle of Skye as well. As you can see for the video here, it's a very short drive right up over the Skye Bridge, and when you come through you approach a roundabout and it's basically straight ahead and you're at the cottage in absolutely no time at all. As soon as I go back to the cottage, I got on with cooking my scallops. I just started with finely chopping up some garlic. I would normally use a crusher for this, but I didn't have one with me, so I just ran it through with a knife a couple of times, and then I just added that to some butter that I'd already had melted into a bowl. You can add other things like chilli and parsley and whatnot to make this nicer, but I just wanted to keep it nice and straightforward. I then took some bacon. I would normally like to use pancetta or something like that, but I never had any. Just the fatty end of the bacon, finely sliced it up and ran it through with a knife to make it nice and small, and just added it into a pan and slowly cooked it as I was cooking everything else, so that not only did the fats come out and go into the black pudding and the scallops, but it also renders down the bacon, just making it nice and crispy with the end. I cooked the black pudding just briefly, and then I set it off to the side so that I could add in the scallops and get them nice and golden. The small white bits you see at the bottom of the pan is like a small abductor muscle, can be quite chewy. Don't normally get it on the scallop, but I really like it, so I always cook it as a wee bit of a chef's treat. I then set the black pudding to the side, and I finished off my scallops by adding in the garlic butter at the end. Don't want this to be on too high a heat because the garlic will burn, but yeah, just put that through, let it cook down a wee bit so that the garlic doesn't have that sort of raw taste to it, and then just basted the scallops in it. Once that was done, I then set out my presentation, which is absolutely horrendous. I'm no a chef, as you can probably tell, but just a bit of black pudding, and then I just lay out my scallops onto the plate as well, and followed over with the crispy bits of bacon that had been frying off in the pan the whole time, and then I just added over a wee bit left over of the garlic butter. It was absolutely delicious. I loved it, to be honest with you. I think you don't need to make too much of an effort when you've got ingredients as fresh as that. After dinner, I poured myself a beer, I got the fire lit in the living room, and just relaxed, ready for the next day exploring Skye. Good morning. So we've got up and got out the cottage, and we're away to Neist Point lighthouse. I've got the wee man on my back in his new Osprey backpack, which is absolutely class. Makes some difference being able to carry him about, and it's got a wee rain cover and stuff to keep him nice and cosy in there. So hoping that the rain holds off for long enough that we can come up and get a look at the lighthouse. So I'll show you what it's like up here. So here we are at Neist Point lighthouse, or the viewpoint of Neist Point, with some absolute maniac camping right on the edge of the cliff. the weather is a bit grim, so I'm not going to bother going all the way down there. I was also hoping to get my drone up as well, but a combination of the rain and wind means that we can't do that. But I've got me and the wee man, absolutely snug as a bug in his wee carrier. Hello, so it's quite a bit later for when I last joined you at Neist Point lighthouse. Original plan was I wanted to actually walk down to the lighthouse. I wanted to get the drone up, get some lovely footage. The weather was absolutely horrendous. The wind was too strong on its own, plus it was bucketing of rain and you just can't fly the drone in that. Then we had an absolute nightmare. So we were staying at Old Kyle Farm. Place was fantastic, really cosy, enjoyed it. But I got my dates mixed up. I thought we were staying again tonight, checking out tomorrow, until we got a phone call at 12 o'clock to say there was guests due and all our stuff was still in the place. Technically we were meant to check out at 10 AM this morning. Now of course this only happens when we're about the furthest away we could be on the island. For the place we're about a 2-hour drive. So we had to race back, throw everything into the van, their dishes and stuff, and then basically just get away from there. We then went down and parked in Shieldaig to get our van sorted, and then just try to find somewhere to stay for the night. So it was all a bit frantic, which is why it's quite a bit of time for I last spoke to you. So we're now at Camping Skye in Broadford, and the site's absolutely class. It was £26 for the night on hard standing, but with no electric, and we're just over here in the overflow because they're actually full, but they managed to fit us into their new overflow part. But I'm going to take a wee wander around the park because it's really nice. So here's the reception just as you come in the main gate, and we're right in Broadford as well. There's your service bay for your chemical toilets and stuff. Here's a lot of the pitches that you've got, and then up here we've got a camping bit, but we've also got all the facilities and stuff that you would need as well. So I'll just take you a wee wander up here. But the facilities are actually really smart. It's this big long building here. So there's toilets, which I'm obviously not going to take you into. You can do that, but probably just the once before you get to jail. So I'll not do that, so that's in there. And then along here, good washing facilities, and then in next door there's like a wee sort of laundrette and drying room in here, so get all your stuff done. So this is the sort of camping field, nice level pitches, and then just up here we've got this wee round building. I'm not going to bother getting in because people are probably having their dinner. But basically it's just a big hollow building with lots of benches for you to go in and have your food and stuff. Really good. So aye, pretty decent site. It's also got up here, this metal bit is also a fire pit that you can get up and have a fire as well, so that's good because not an awful lot of places actually let you do that when you're on campsites, which is a bit disappointing because I think sometimes when you come camping one of the nicest things is going round a campfire, especially if you've got kids. You can get marshmallows and different bits of this, but I'll get you a good view of the overflow bit. I think they said this is recently just finished, and I think the plan is that it's probably going to be more hard standing with electric and stuff because it seems to be quite a bit of effort into it. But there we are there. This thing's amazing, it's like a big old army truck, it's incredible. So that's us there. And that's the sort of site. Up over the back of here is like a community hub where people have basically got small allotments, which is amazing. But they've also got pigs. I took the baby up there earlier on to see him and he was fascinated, so I'll take you up there now and see if we can have a look at these pigs. So here we go, I've caught sight of them already. There seems to be 3 of them. I don't really know the setup in terms of, is it 1 male and 2 females? There's one big brute, which is the one you can see right here, and 2 smaller ones, so I think that might be what the setup is. Although, saying that, I've just spotted the teats on the big one, so it's definitely not the setup. Here we go. I don't actually know what kind they are. They're amazing and they seem to be quite happy to come over and see you. So, I love pigs, I'm fascinated with them. I've always wanted a small hold and I've always wanted to have pigs, so anytime I get a chance to see them I always think it's brilliant, and the Wayne liked it as well. So aye, that's a quick sort of whistle stop tour of the campsite. These technically aren't actually on the campsite, they're on this sort of community allotment thing, which I think you're allowed access to. There's a wee gate and it doesn't say you're not allowed access, and the wee gate's right there, just going back onto the campsite, so I presume it's just come and don't be an idiot, leave a mess or touch anybody's stuff basically. So plan is the new partner is feeding the babies dinner, and then we are going to take them a walk down into Broadford. The rain, touch wood, has briefly gone off. Well, it's still kind of a wee tiny light bit, but it's the lightest it's been for a wee while. So we are going to walk down into Broadford. I think we're going to go and try the chippy down there. Been to Broadford a good few times. The wee chippy always seems pretty busy. Never actually tried it ourselves, so it'd be good to try that. Aye, and I think just maybe go a wee walk about down there. It's been a pretty frantic day, thanks to me making an absolute arse of the booking for the cottage. So apologies to the Old Kyle Farm people. It was actually one of those ones where when they phoned me, I was kind of like, oh no, you've made a mistake. Let me just tell you. And then I checked the actual dates and realised very quickly that I was the arse. So apologies guys for the inconvenience if you're watching. The place was amazing, would definitely recommend it. Right at Kyle Leakin, just as you come over the bridge. Yeah, had a great night in there, so aye, just a bit of a nightmare the way that we had to leave. So that's the plan anyway, going to go in here, get the baby, walk down into Broadford, and I'll maybe catch you up down there. Hello, good afternoon. So left you last night, we were going for a chippy, I think it's called Skye, in Broadford. It was alright, nothing to write home about, wasn't amazing, wasn't rubbish, just kind of alright. And then we just had a pretty chill night, went back to the van, we all got showers and stuff, and then just got into the bed with this weeing. This morning we got up, we had to be off for 10 AM, so we got off. Our plan was we were originally going to stay on Skye for another bit, but with the weather's been a bit rubbish, we just try to pick where would be best to go. So we've ended up in Shieldaig. We're on Shieldaig camping in cabins. Fantastic wee site, I've followed them on Instagram for ages. They've got the most incredible cabins. The view for there is absolutely ridiculous, so check them out on Instagram. And we're now just down in Shieldaig, going for a wee walk basically. There's a pub, so got a strong feeling that that's where we'll probably end up. I'll show you around about the site when we go back up later. But this is literally just right down below it, so this is sort of the view that you get from the campsite. And we're just down below in the wee town, so never stopped here before, so we'll see what they've got. First stop, Plockton Smokehouse, and it's lovely. It's just literally up through this person's back garden. Didn't buy any fish because it's only smoked salmon. I'm not going to get into it, but I don't believe in farm salmon's very good, and I don't think we should eat our wild salmon, but that's neither here nor there. I did get a wee dill mustard sauce, and I was laughing because I seen this sign and I was asking the guy what it says. So it says basically, I wish for a free Scotland with no bomb, no Boris, no Liz, no Rishi. I actually thought it was going to be a wee bit ruder than that, so fair enough, kept it pretty mild. But that's what I love about places like this, there's loads of wee people selling stuff out their houses, their garages, honesty boxes, all over the place. If honesty boxes are your thing, over on Instagram, it's a little bit of Claire has got another page called Honesty Scotland, and she's building up a load of honesty boxes all over the place. I believe she's also working on a book. In my opinion, brilliant idea for a book and an Instagram page. I'm really jealous that I never thought of it, to be perfectly honest with you. There's so many amazing ones all over Scotland, so she's doing great work putting that together if you want to check out more. But aye, let's see what else we can find. This just shows you the view for the pods. It's also the view for one of the caravan hookups that I'm standing in as well. Absolutely incredible. So I thought I'd take you a wee tour of the site. Here is the bike unit where you can wash your bikes. There's loads of cycle routes in the area and there was cleaning supplies there, so that's very handy and I've never seen that before. Also got the chemical waste, spotlessly clean, good powered hose, also had hand sanitizer, and this is also where you can empty your grey water and refill. You've got your camping pitches next to it, loads of space there and really flat ground as well. Then you've got the space where you can do your dishes, you can also do your washing of your clothes as well, and you've got a wee freezer for your freezer packs. The toilets are spotlessly clean. I did double check that there was nobody in using these before I started filming. I'm not quite that weird, but yeah, spotless. You've also got an outdoor shower if you fancy braving the elements and having your shower outside. I really fancied this, but I didn't get around to it, just didn't have much time, so it was only the indoor ones that I used. As you can see, the location of the site is just absolutely spectacular. Overhanging Shieldaig itself down below is where I went for a beer earlier on, and also out in the bay you can see Shieldaig Island. There's a pair of white-tailed sea eagles that actually nest here, and they fledged some young no long after we left here. We didn't actually get to see them, but also didn't really spend much time trying to either, so that's always worth looking out for when you're there. There is a company on the sort of foreshore at Shieldaig. They can take you out in kayaks and water adventures and round about the local area as well, so there's absolutely plenty to do. The whole area is stunning, the campsite was fantastic, really well run, and I cannot stress enough how spotlessly clean this place was. Some of the areas, particularly the family changing room, you genuinely would have thought nobody else had ever used them before, and we were the first people to do so. So absolutely top-notch site, and if I'm ever in the area, I'll definitely be returning. Good afternoon. So it is Wednesday. I think I left you last night at dinner. We never done very much after dinner. I took a walk down to the main street with the wee man, just to try and tire him out before bed. And we popped into the pub slash hotel. I got myself a beer. One of the barmen very kindly made him a balloon dog before he screamed the place down, but he did enjoy it on the way back. And then we just went to bed basically, so never missed out on very much. His sleeping's been a wee bit terrible on this trip. He was up on and off between midnight and 5 AM, so very lazy morning, hence why it's 3 in the afternoon before we're heading out. We just had a nap and stuff and we've just chilled, but the weather is absolutely lovely. So there's a sign at the campsite saying that if you come just down to the primary school, past that and beyond the football park, there is a 3 kilometre walk around the peninsula basically. So I think we're going to go and attempt to do that while his mummy cleans up the van and does the dishes and the bottles and everything else that all adds up when you're sort of got a baby, never mind when you're on the road with a baby. So he looks pretty comfy in his Osprey backpack. This thing's been incredible. We literally just bought it last week before coming away, and it's fantastic, really spreads the weight. It's got loads of pockets and stuff on it, for all the, like, he's got his juice, his sun lotion, change of clothes and stuff if he needs it. Paid for it all myself, not gifted or anything like that. But aye, so far so good with this. So I'll take you along for the walk and we'll see what we get up to. So the walk has just started to open up. You can see, not came very far, it says it's only 3 kilometres on the actual marker. Still the same boat you can see for the campsite, but it's just opened up a wee bit now. You can see these hills and stuff. Really nice. One thing I keep looking out for, I don't even know if I'm wasting my time because I don't know if they actually come this high up, is adders. It's the only venomous snake in the UK. And I've been dying to see one for years, but their camouflage is absolutely incredible. But they'll stay in this sort of heather and bracken and stuff like that, and they fit in quite well. But on a day like the day, because it's quite sunny, and And obviously snakes are cold-blooded animals, they need to come out and heat up. So they usually come out and sort of sit on rocks and stuff to get a bit of heat. It's quite late in the afternoon, so there's a good chance they've already done that this morning. And again, I don't know if they actually come this far up anyway, but I'm keeping my eyes peeled just in case. I also don't know if I actually says, but the small island in front of the campsite, I think it is called Shieldaig Island. It's actually home to a nesting pair of white-tailed sea eagles. No actually seen them so far, but apparently the nest on there, there's a good wee information, a sort of plaque down at the main street, and it shows you they come out and they ring the young chicks to obviously keep an eye on the numbers and their movements and things like that. But it shows you a guy up at the nest collecting the young chicks, and the size of the nest compared to a full grown man, absolutely insane. I've been lucky enough to see these birds quite a few times, and one time in particular at Loch Fyne, one got up no far from me and my friend, and I didn't even notice it until the last minute, and it was enormous. Don't quote me on the number, but I think they've got something like an 8-foot wingspan, so keep my eyes peeled for them as well. Came to a wee bit here in the walk, and it's got this sort of wee cairn and a wee sign that way and that way. I think that might mean quite hilly, and that way quite smooth. I'm completely making that up. It may as well be Egyptian hieroglyphics for all I know, but I'm going to go the smooth way, or the way that I think smooth anyway, hopefully around towards this water. But lovely wee walk, definitely recommend it if you're in the area. So the walk's brought me up to here, and looks like if I go down there, it looks like there's maybe a small beach, so I think I'm going to go there, or that just sort of takes you a bit further around the headland. Looks like there's a wee trig up there, Trig Point. Not entirely sure. He finds it very funny anyway, he's still enjoying himself, but I think we're just going to go down here. No planned a very long walk, to be honest with you. He's due a nap, probably the next 45 minutes to an hour, so what we'll probably do is try and be heading back to coincide with that. But we'll go and get a wee look down here. As I say, from my map it looks like there's a wee beach. We'll find out if there is. I'll catch up with you down there. So there we go, there's the private beach. I thought it was actually going to be a sandy beach, it's more sort of shingle. But how amazing is that, if you've got that, and that's your house, right there. Absolutely amazing. Brilliant. So, plan is we'll probably just now turn back, get back in time for his nap, and then we'll see what we got up to the rest of the day. Not very much, it's just meant to be a bit of a relaxed day because we've been driving a lot the last couple of days, and we're going to be driving a lot tomorrow as well, so probably just chilled, but we'll see what we got up to. So we're just on our way back, and I had to stop to show you this. Out for the count. He's got the right idea, that's how you do these walks. Get somebody to carry you, have a wee nap, and wake up when you're finished. I'll catch up with you later on. Hello. So you find me in very different circumstances to which I've just very abruptly left you. The reason for that's pretty straightforward. The videos were getting far too long. The original plan was 2 videos, week 1, week 2, but I'm right up to about 50 minutes already with week 1 and I'm not even finished. So I'm trying to chop them down a wee bit more. Absolutely love my time being back on Skye. I'll leave all the links to everywhere that we visited down in the description if you want to go and see them. I loved getting back in the water. Those scallops were amazing. My presentation was a bit of a shambles, but they tasted absolutely delicious. So I can't wait to get back in the water again. In the vlog that's coming up, I'm going to Balnakeil Beach, which I pronounced wrong about 100 times in the video, and even as I'm speaking to you now, I'm wondering have I just pronounced that wrong again. But the place is incredible, as you'll see in the video. And I then go to probably my favourite campsite in all of Scotland, Sango Sands at Durness, where you'll see for yourself the pitches are just an absolute joke in terms of the view, and I also catch an absolute belter of a sea trout. So please remember and watch the next video. If I can ask as well, can you leave a comment? Let me know what you thought of the video, thought of the places. Let me know what you want to see in upcoming videos and where I can fit it in. I will. Seems really daft, but the YouTube channel is taking a long time to get up to views and stuff, and I would like to see it grow a wee bit more if I can. Commenting, liking, subscribing all helps do that, and the majority of people that watch the videos don't actually currently subscribe, and it's completely free basically, and I don't think I'm too much of a pest on there as well, so please consider that if you can. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.